Oh yes, multi-tenor drums, my favorite kind of drums in the whole wide world. However, this ad was kinda not that great. But first we're gonna focus on the positives, okay? Because I am a very positive person. First positive quality is that the drummer of this commercial was actually quite good. A lot of these ads that have drummers, they just hire a random actor and make them play drums, and it always turns out horribly. But this guy looked really good. It's clear he has some experience, his hands look decent with the technique, and he had this nice little choppy paradiddle ram, kind of. We'll get back to that in a second. But my favorite part was definitely the duts. I'm sure the average viewer doesn't even know what that is, but dutting is basically like counting off, like 1, 2, 3, 4, but you're saying dut. It's like a more articulate way to communicate with everybody in the drum line. But the fact that he dudded himself off in a solo, it's so goofy. Yeah, there's no need to dut to yourself, alright? That's for other people coming in with you. It's like an inside drummer joke. I love it. It's some good stuff. Another positive thing was that this ad was actually quite entertaining. Yes, the Uber Eats bag does not contain drummers. It contains drumsticks. I get it. It's a chicken joke. He gets it too. This ad always gets my attention, the loud duts and the drumming. I guess that's the point of it, to grab attention of the audience, so it does a good job with that. Okay, that's enough positives. Let's talk about the negatives. The first blatantly terrible thing that I noticed was the drum tuning. These drums sound so bad. For comparison, here's me playing on my set of tenors. Yeah, so comparing that to this sound, the drum is just not tuned at all. It's as if they took the drums out of the box and then just played on them, which is probably exactly what happened. So not only does Uber Eats not have drums, they clearly also do not have these drum key things. This is what you use to tune the drum to make it not sound like a lawnmower. Okay, the next negative thing we're going to talk about is the actual drums themselves. Now, I am a firm believer that any drum can sound good if you put good heads on and tune them well, which they didn't do either of those things, so that's why it sounds pretty crappy for the most part. Now, I don't know what brand of drums these are, but I am pretty sure that they are a cheap set that's mainly designed for kids to play on. And the first giveaway with that is how shallow these drum shells are, especially on the big drums 3 and 4 on the outside here. So obviously the manufacturer, they removed a lot of the wood, which will make them not sound as good, but it'll also make them lighter, which will be easier for kids to carry around. Also, the angles of these drums, you can see drum 4 is like kind of hanging off, not looking level with the rest of them, and also when he plays, they shake around like crazy. Yeah, that's just a lot of signs that these are not well made and very cheap. And also the harness that he's wearing looks very cheap. It's actually even crooked coming down here. It also looks like the harness is set for the tallest possible player, and this is still too small for him. The drums are too high up. Yeah, with tenors, you want the player's elbows to be very relaxed, like at the sides of your body. These drums are so high that he has to like raise up like this, doing like the chicken wing kind of playing. Maybe that was done intentionally to advertise the chicken wings in the commercial. Yeah, I don't know, maybe they were on some kind of a budget with this commercial, although Uber Eats is worth like $20 billion as a company. I think they can splurge the $2,000 for a good set of tenors and a harness. The next negative thing with this is that the video is sped up. Yeah, I don't know how obvious this was to all you non-drummers out there, but I could tell easily. All these paradiddles and craziness, this is sped up from what he actually played originally. Yeah, just like his wrist and arm movements is like not natural for how fast he is going. So just to prove the point completely, this is me playing what was done in the commercial. And well, the idea was for me to play it exactly at the speed that he did, but I couldn't. It was too fast. It's too much chops even for me. But I was able to work it up to about 90% of the actual speed of the ad. So this is the ad at 90% speed. This is me at normal speed playing to the 90% speed. Make sense? Got it? Okay, let's watch. Yeah, so hopefully you can tell my heights, like the amount of lift my sticks are getting is definitely a lot lower than his. Well, that could just because this guy has like godly chops, but most likely because he played it slower and they sped it up. So here's me playing it even a little bit slower. This is 80% speed, and this is me playing at 100% speed to the 80% speed. Makes sense? Got it? Okay, it's a lot of math. Try to keep up. So I can now achieve about the same heights that he is getting, as you can see by how high up our sticks are going. That's actually, yeah, it's pretty good. Imagine if the two of us were a tenor line, but this guy had this set of drums and I had like a good set. Oh, that'd be kind of funny. Okay, so one more experiment here. This is the ad at 100% speed. This is me playing it at 80% speed, sped up to 100% speed, which I actually think that this guy played at 80% and they sped it up to 100%. So yeah, we both have that kind of like unnatural, like just massive heights at really fast speeds. Hopefully you understand what I'm getting at. But honestly, I don't think it was necessary to speed that up at all. The part is still pretty fast, even like played 20% slower. And he could have even added some around the drums. I mean, he played the whole thing on one drum, which brings us to the last negative thing about this is he only played on one drum. Bro, it's tenors. Like, why are you just gonna play on one of them? Maybe it's because these drums were set so high that it was awkward to play anything cool around the drums. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay, so with all that in mind, I am now gonna rank this on a tier list. Now, these are all the other ads that have drummers in them. So even though his drumming was sped up and the drums sounded like absolute crap, I am going to rank this one at A tier because the drummer was actually quite good and the ad was quite entertaining. It honestly doesn't take much to score high on this tier list because there is some god-awful drumming in commercials. What? Oh boy. Dude, she's not playing any of those hi-hat notes.
Donate your car at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a cat. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll also get a vacation voucher and a tax deduction. 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Very terrible. This one's getting an F tier. You can click this video right here to watch me break down more drumming in commercial advertisements, and have a good morning.